6 foods for brain health. Let me see if I have them in my fridge. Nope. So I'm gonna go get them in the grocery store. I do have one item in the house. Olive oil. Off to the grocery store, down the main boulevard of Denia, Spain. And we're going to the Avocados health food store. Here we go. My favorite store. Amazing. First up, we got an avocado. Avocado is pretty interesting because recently I watched a YouTuber talk about its effect on bipolar, and she's a psychiatrist who was studying avocados. She believes that it can help people with bipolar. Not only does it have a lot of protein, but it also has a lot of vitamins and nutrients. I'm going to look it up. Forgot to write down the notes for avocados. Healthy for the heart, great for vision, and may help prevent osteoporosis, helps prevent cancer, supports fetal health, that's interesting, reduces depression, improves digestion, and it's a natural detoxification. That means it has anti-inflammatory compounds such as oleic acid and antioxidants like vitamin E, and that obviously reduces inflammation. It can support your liver health and ability to detoxify. That makes a lot of sense. For example, inflammation is another way of saying like something in your body is not properly working. Sometimes we don't have the symptoms. I actually had no idea that cognitive brain fog is a sign of inflammation that's related to the gut. Look at all these organic, amazing greens. Leafy greens, why are they good for you? Leafy greens are amazing. Collard greens, kale, what else do we have? I'll think about it in a minute. Leafy greens have dietary nitrate, and dietary nitrates are converted into nitric oxide in the body. That helps with blood flow. Nitric oxide helps with cognitive function. Another thing I learned about leafy greens is extremely important for gut health because of its high fiber content. Some of you may know the gut and brain are linked, a gut-brain axis, which suggests that a healthy gut contributes to a healthy brain. Who would have known? I will talk about in another video about my gut health issues. I'm not surprised when I had ulcers, I had a lot of brain cognitive fog, and I'm wondering if that contributes to my anemia. But I'll get into more of that later in another episode. And regular consumption of leafy greens is linked to a sharper memory, which is awesome. It better retains cognitive function in adults. It's kind of funny because like I see these girls always having their kale salad. A lot of women I know love their leafy greens. And I ask my guy friends like, hey, do you eat vegetables? They're like, no. What about leafy greens? And they're just like, what's that? I think we could do a better job educating our children the importance of leafy greens, not just because they're good for you, but like why? Do you end up like remembering more and maybe you can get better results on your test? It's all about storytelling. Ooh, we got some frozen salmon. It's hard to find. Oh, can I open it? No. It's hard to find wild salmon here in Spain. So this is farmed, but it looks good. It says bio. I love it. Bio salmon. It too is rich in fatty acids, just like walnuts. It contains vitamin B and 12, niacin, vitamin D, and let's be honest, even if you're living in a sunny country, we can also be vitamin D deficient, which greatly impacts your mood. I take vitamin D supplements. If you're deficient in vitamin D, it's linked to cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases, as I mentioned earlier, Alzheimer's. I'm also filming this video from Prague, my friend's apartment, which is why we have a pink sofa in the background and not a gray one. I started this video in Spain, didn't get to finish it, so I'm completing it in Prague. I'm here for a few weeks with my health and energy healing coach. I guess we can say energy healing. And I'm going to be also talking on this channel about energy frequencies and spirituality and healing, and that's for another time. Salmon in Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic is not easily available because we're a landlocked country. But in Spain, there's a lot of salmon, which is farm raised. I try to just stick to wild salmon, as you should. In any case, if you don't have access to wild salmon, you can go to the stores like Avocados, which has bio farm-raised salmon. I guess the best alternative. And my favorite section, the nut section. Walnuts.
Walnuts, which helps reduce oxidation stress and also improves brain signaling and neurogenesis, which means the creation of neurons. Walnuts are also good for antioxidants. They contain a vitamin E and melatonin, which is great. Melatonin helps you go to sleep better. I also read that walnuts helps combat inflammation in the brain, which is also linked to cognitive decline, especially people with Alzheimer's. Walnuts also have B vitamin. I am actually deficient.
And magnesium. Got my magnesium powder that I take in my water. It's in a coconut oil bottle. Actually, I'm deficient in magnesium, which is why I get a lot of headaches. Walnuts are also packed with omega-3 fatty acids that improves brain signaling and neurogenesis, which is the creation of new neurons. All the amazing chocolate. Organic chocolate. Woo woo. I love organic chocolate. 70% or darker is very good for the brain health. I think I'll just get a small chocolate bar because if I get anything larger, I'll eat it. Chocolate, one of my favorite, and I ate all of it in my apartment, so there is none in my fridge. Chocolate's an interesting thing because for my ulcers, I couldn't really eat chocolate. They are highly acidic, and now that my ulcers are healing, I'm introducing chocolate back into my diet. So not only does chocolate boost endorphins and serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that regulates your mood, chocolate also has neuroprotective effects. This one I found out about recently. What it does, neurons are protected from damage, reducing the buildup of toxic molecules and boosts brain plasticity, which of course is crucial for learning and memory. It's interesting with chocolate, I always knew it was a serotonin enhancer. I didn't even know that it had the capacity to make our brain more plastic. Does that sound right? I don't think that sounds right, but yeah, you get the point. Organic olive oil. I'm in heaven. Product of Spain. I try to go for organic, or in Europe it's called bio or ecológico in Spain. In Czech it's bio, and this is regular non-organic. The tastes are similar, to be honest. I think the non-organic one tastes better, but I try to stick with organic and bio because there's a lot of like pesticides and herbicides in our produce, and that doesn't help the brain or gut health at all. Olive oil has anti-inflammatory properties. What I love about the Spaniards is that they absolutely love olive oil. I put it on my skin. I also sometimes wash my hair with it. I consume it. It's pretty cool stuff. The anti-inflammatory properties is similar to ibuprofen. So for those of you that have ulcers and you know you can't really take ibuprofen or it's difficult to take medications, since the medication does not help in healing ulcers, olive oil is really cool because it has those anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic inflammation does lead to neurodegenerative diseases as well as cancer. As I'm kind of trying to understand my inflammation issues in my intestines, stomach, and colon, I'm really curious about food. It's also my obsession, a little bit of an orthorexic who's obsessing about healthy ingredients and all of that. My obsession is pretty warranted because I have this inflammation problem, which I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of, and I'll also be recording a lot of videos on this. Olive oil, it helps enhance memory and learning, which is cool because us YouTubers, we spend a lot of time learning. We're overwhelmed with a lot of information. I'm always looking at ways to improve my cognitive abilities and memory. I have like short-term memory. There's a compound in olive oil called oleuropein, has been shown to prevent nerve damage and has memory enhancing properties, which is kind of cool. I think my light, I gotta pause this recording because I gotta charge my light. Cool. Another thing about olive oil, it protects against vascular damage. It contributes to better blood flow, reduced cholesterol levels, and I have high cholesterol thanks to my grandma. These 6 foods are super important for brain health. I'm really focusing a lot on diet and nutrition. It has everything to do with brain health and mental health. I hope you found these foods super helpful. Comment in the description below. I'm curious what kind of foods you're eating to help with brain health, and I'll see you in the next episode. What's the next episode on? I think I'm going to talk about your subconscious and conscious mind. Why it's really important to understand what's in our subconsciousness. That is a reflection of our reality. And I have a really cool vlog from Spain when I went up to the castle and filmed the video there. I talked about how much we keep everything locked up inside of us, like walls of a castle, which is a fortress that protects our treasures. I made a nice little metaphor around our subconsciousness being locked up in these walls of our head. This is my heaven. I'm gonna enjoy this chocolate bar in front of my favorite store. Yum. Just delicious.